breaking heat waves expected in the summer of 2025, India's electricity demand is set to soar. The IMD predicts extreme heat across key states like Rajasthan, UP, and MP. Power demand from March to May could surge, pushing electricity generation to its limits. Well, currently, thermal power generation accounts for almost 75% of total electricity generation. In India's thermal power generation, NTPC has an installed capacity of 62 gigawatts, Adani Power with 17.55 gigawatts, and Tata Power with 8.9 gigawatts. So in today's video, we'll discuss about NTPC, India's largest thermal power generator, and understand how extreme heat can benefit this stock, key highlights from the recent quarterly results, and impact of major budget announcements on this stock. Before we move on, we must understand that we get electricity majorly from thermal energy, which relies on burning of coal and causes pollution. But then, is there a greener and cleaner option to generate electricity which can not only save the environment but can also help you save a lot of money? If you're a little curious, here is your chance. Solar Square is hosting a free webinar to walk you through everything you want to know about going solar, from how it works to how much you can save and how can you make the switch very seamlessly. But yes, there is a bonus. 30 lucky participants from this webinar will get exclusive 5,000 rupees discount if they book before 31st of March. So don't miss out on this opportunity. Check the link in the description and pinned comment to register for the free webinar with Solar Square. Hey folks, CA Rachana Ranade here and I welcome you all to an amazing series which is called as Summer Special Stock Series. Now, when I'm talking about rising temperatures, I can't think only about NTPC but 2-3 more stocks come to my mind. If you want me to make a separate series on this theme, just comment summer and I'll be more than happy to start my studies on these different stocks. But for today, we are going to talk about NTPC. Well, talking about this company, it was established back in 1975 as a public sector undertaking company and it has Maharatna status. This is India's largest power generation company where the current installed capacity is 76 gigawatts and it has a target capacity of 130 gigawatts by 2032. Now let's try and understand what does the company do in very simple words. We understand that it is in power generation, but which type of power generation? It is thermal power generation. Now let me take you back to your good old school days and understand what do I mean by thermal power generation. Now, basically, what we do is we burn stuff like coal to make heat. Heat makes steam. Steam spins a wheel. This wheel is connected to a generator, and because of this, it makes electricity. I hope you have understood how electricity is made with the help of thermal things like coal. Okay. Now we have to understand that okay, once this electricity is generated, who are their customers? Of course, their customers have to be state run electricity board, something like Maharashtra State Electricity Distribution Company Limited. Now, for that, what they do is that they enter into agreements, something known as PPAs or power purchase agreements, and these are long term agreements, like maybe 25 years. Now, what happens with this is that they will ensure these contracts being long term ensures good revenue visibility for the company, steady cash flows for the company, and also they'll have some price certainty for them. Now we have understood about the basic business model, agreed. But what is the installed capacity share of NTPC as compared to the total installed capacity in India? And for that, have a look at this. Well, NTPC accounts for 17% of the total installed capacity in India. But if I were to talk about power generation, NTPC accounts for 24% of the total power generated in India. Now tell me logically, agreed that they have a massive share in power generation, but out of the different sources through which power is generated, which will be the key source? It has to be coal. You said it. But if I were to tell you exact percentages, have a look at this. Coal contributes to roughly 70.8% of the total installed capacity. If I were to also consider their JVs and subsidiaries, coal accounts for additional almost 11% of the installed capacity. So, own NTPC owned plus JV subsidiaries put together, that is crossing 81%. All others are chiller, gas, liquid fuel, hydro, renewables, this and that, here and there. Okay. So, I hope you have understood. This is fixed that coal is going to contribute to the maximum installed capacity for NTPC. Logically, if this is the highest, revenue generation for NTPC is obviously going to be most from fossil fuel based resources like coal, right? But how much is it? For that, have a look at this. And you'll see that in the financial year 23-24, fossil fuel energy accounted for 90.1% of the revenue, green energy accounted 4.1%, and non energy business, which is a very minimal part, that accounted for almost 5.8%. Now, that you have understood some basics about NTPC, what does the company do, you have understood that yes, this is in power generation, yes, this is mainly into thermal power generation. But if this is understood, now we want to understand how can extreme heat positively impact the stock. Now let's understand about an important point as to how extreme heat can really impact the stock, ideally positively. Now how? First of all, we have to understand whether this extreme heat thing, is it my own theory or is it something which has been absolutely talked about. It is, it's all over the media. Have a look at all these news articles, all focus on the same point, that this specific summer could be one of the hottest 2025 summer. Now if this be so, if 2025 summer is really hot, then what could happen? Of course, usage of ACs, fans, coolers, that is going to increase. If I'm talking about nights, nights will be warmer. Again, the usage of all these devices, cooling devices, is going to increase. This is about residential use. What about industrial use? Typically, production of steel, or if I'm talking about production of cement, these are ramped up during summer. This could again lead to more demand for power. And if I'm talking about the agricultural sector, again, using more water pumps for irrigation, this could also increase the demand for electricity. Now you might be like, okay, ticket demand is going to be more, agreed, but can we see a trend that typically during summers, the peak demand during summer has been increasing over the period of years, and we can actually see that. Have a look at this. 2019 peak summer demand was 182 gigawatts, 2020 174 gigawatts, 2021 200 gigawatts, 2022 215 gigawatts, 23 224 gigawatts, 24 to 50 gigawatts, and in 2025 it is expected to touch 270 gigawatts. Now you only tell me logically, if demand is more, obviously generation of power is going to be more. And if generation of power is going to be more, logically, is this going to be positively benefiting a stock like NTPC? Absolutely yes, because this has a pretty big share in the power generation in India. If it is going to benefit its top line, and even if other things are kept normal, ideally their bottom line can see a positive impact. But you'll be like, Rachna, every single summer we have seen peak demands. Then do you feel that there will be a seasonality in their top line and in their bottom line? And for that, what we'll have to do is we'll have to check Q4 results and Q1 results also, because sometimes summers are delayed, summers sometimes are preponed. So what we'll do in the next section, we'll check the quarterly results and see whether we can see and observe a seasonality in the top line and bottom line. Now we are on screener. Let's check the seasonality. We'll check the previous year. Now you can see that if I am talking about December, right? December is 42,820. In comparison to that, March is 47,622 and June is 48,521. Again, September is down at 44,000. December is back to 45,000. Okay. Now, if I were to even understand about PBT, December PBT 6,571, March 8,164, June 7,284, and again a little bit pullback in September, a decent enough rise in December 24. Okay, so that is the similar or a very same trend that we have observed in the previous year as well. There could be one or two odd years wherein this trend may not be visible also. Okay, so you should be informed about this as well. Now if I were to talk about few more key points, if you have a look at this, stock P is at 15.5, whereas industry P is 30.7. So if I'm comparing it with the industry, of course it is available at a very cheaper valuation, but we also have to compare the stock P with its own median P. And for that, what we have to do is that I'm here and you can see 1 year median P is at 17.3, whereas the current PE is, oh sorry, the median PE is yes at 17.3 and the current PE is 15.4. So if I'm talking about 1 year, still undervalued, but if I'm talking about a longer time frame, let's say 5 years, here you can see it is overvalued. 15.4 is the current one and the median P is 9.3. But in the shorter time frame, the stock has corrected quite a bit, and because of which the valuations for a 1 year time frame has become pretty much comfortable. If I'm talking about the whole year per se, sales is at an all time high. Sorry, if I'm talking about sales here, Sales is at an all time high. If I'm talking about operating profit, it is at an all time high. If I'm talking about PBT, this is also at an all time high. If I'm talking about the balance sheet, debt to equity, it's also not that bad to be. If I were to check exactly, debt to equity will be 1.44. For a capital intensive company, this is not bad at all. If I were to also understand about the operating cash flows, you can see our operating cash flow is positive. So again, not a problem. Of course, being a PSU company, you will see President of India here in the promoters at 51.1%. Well, now that we have understood about the financials, this is about what we have discussed about the company, about the past, what has happened till now. Question is, what about the future? What are their plans about increasing capacity? Are they going to increase their focus on renewables also? So if you can see, as per the management con call, they mentioned that in the coming few years, they plan to increase their installed capacity by 30 gigawatts, out of which thermal will be 17.5 gigawatts, hydro 2.2 gigawatts, and renewables 10.3 gigawatts. But out of this 30 gigawatts, they are mentioning that 24.6 gigawatts they're expecting to install by 2027. Now, out of this 24.6 gigawatts, also they have given year wise targets. They have mentioned that we'll commission plants for 2025 for installed capacity of 6.9 gigawatts. We'll complete 7.7 gigawatts of installed capacity commissioning by 2026 and 9.9 gigawatts by 2027. So, all in all, I hope you have understood that they have solid plans for the upcoming financial years as well. And if I were to understand about renewables, specifically renewables, NTPC's current capacity of renewables is only 3.4 gigawatts. And by 2032, they are going to increase it to 60 gigawatts. So, the renewables theme is going to be interesting. Let's see how they are able to actually execute their dreams. Now let's move on with the last part of the video. Again, very important point wherein we are going to talk about budget announcements that came up in 2025-26. Currently, India's nuclear power capacity stands at 8.1 gigawatt, and we are set to expand this to 22.48 gigawatts by 2031-32, and we have a target of expanding it further to 100 gigawatts by 2047. Now, for this, do you think that we'll need a lot of planning and execution? Answer is obviously yes. And for that, some steps are being taken in the budget. By the way, in this budget only, they have talked about all these targets. Okay. In addition to that, they have mentioned that we are going to allocate 20,000 crore rupees for research and development in small modular reactors. By the way, these are required if someone were to create nuclear power. Okay, and they are planning to have at least 5 indigenously designed small modular reactors by 2033. Now, if we were to jump from the current nuclear power capacity, installed capacity at which is at 8.1 gigawatts. By the way, this is only 2% of the total installed capacity right now. From 8 gigawatt, if you were to jump to 22 gigawatts, 200 gigawatts, ideally, what we feel is that it should not be only public players who should be participating in this, but private players should also join in. The problem is that, as per the Atomic Energy Act 1962, currently private players are not allowed to participate in nuclear power generation. Have public sector companies taken advantage of this? Yes. NTPC is into nuclear power generation through a JV which they have done with NPCIL, which is Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited. So basically, NTPC and NPCIL, they have entered into a joint venture. The name of this joint venture is ANVIL, or Anushakti Vidyut Nigam Limited. NTPC expects to build 30 gigawatts of nuclear capacity over the next 2 decades at a cost of $62 billion. Okay, that's a big one, right? Now, in addition to this, they have also signed a supplementary agreement with NPCIL again, where they will transfer a power project of 2,800 megawatts or 2.8 gigawatts, which is located in Banswara, Rajasthan. This is an atomic power project. They are going to transfer this to the JV, so that obviously again the installed capacity of JV will automatically increase. So all in all, what did you understand here? That yes, in the budget, specific mention was given to nuclear power, and because this is a cleaner source of energy, greener source of energy, and because NTPC has a first mover advantage here. Right now, private players are not allowed. We'll have to see how NTPC is able to execute these plans. We'll have to see whether any further policy changes are made by the government. And for current, as far as the current scenario goes, apart from this nuclear, apart from this renewables, thermal, which is their key point right now, we'll also have to check whether they get enough raw material in the form of coal. I hope you enjoyed a lot in today's video where you gained a lot of knowledge. If you did, don't forget to share this video with your friends. Don't forget to smash this like button. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye bye.